morning, everybody. Thank you for joining. Welcome to Dharma Yoga. And as always, please practice according to your conditions and respect your limitations. Modify as you need to the postures to suit your abilities. And if you know the variations I'll present, then of course you can go ahead and explore them if you're familiar. Otherwise, I'll try to give other options as well for those, if you're more of an entry level. So on that note, let's begin. So just remember, this is an all levels class, and so respect others, and give the best experience to others through your offering. So that means not going to place of pain and suffering. This is not what you want to transmit to others. So on that note, let's begin sitting tall and straight. Close the eyes. Go inward. We'll begin with the sound of Om 3 times to attract divine attention. Imagine being immersed in all the colors, vibrations, and sounds of the universe. Fix your mind on God alone. Rest your thoughts in God alone. And in God who will live hereafter. Of this there is no doubt. all beings everywhere, be happy and free from suffering, and enjoy this practice to our senses. May we always have a strong desire for liberation from pain and suffering. May we cherish only good feelings towards all beings, never ill feelings, always coming from a place of love, compassion towards all beings. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Let's do the mantra for purification now to purify this space, the ground, and all the psychic channels within. If you know it, you can do it along with me. If not, you can do it mentally and imagine you're chanting through the voice of the Guru. And you derive all the benefits as though you were chanting it perfectly. Om Pavitraha Pavitra Va Sawa Vashtanga Topi Va Yaha Smrit Pandrikaksham Sabaya Bihantraha Stihi. Two more times. Om Pavitraha Pavitra Va Sawa Vashtanga Topi Va Yaha Smrit Pandrikaksham Sabaya Bihantraha Stihi. Om Pavitraha Pavitra Va Sawa Vashtanga Topi Va Yaha Smrit Pandrikaksham Sabaya Bihantraha Stihi. Now release the arms down. We're going to do alternate nostril breathing, the main breathing. You can do this at any time of the day. It helps to promote calmness of mind. And when the mind is calm, you have more of an ability to concentrate. And with good concentration, that leads into meditation. Meditation is simply uninterrupted concentration. So we're going to begin with, we're going to do a 3-12-6 rhythm. So 3 on the inhale, the 12 on the breath retention, 6 on the exhale. For this technique, you can actually do any ratio 1-4-2, 1. So you can do eventually, when you get comfortable with the 3-12-6, you can move up to 4-16-8, and so on. Or you can just simply prolong your breath and just slow down the count, but try to have the count always even. Left hand in Jnana Mudra, second finger and thumb connected, other 3 fingers extended on the left knee. Right hand, Vishnu Mudra, second, third fingers fold down towards the palm. And when you turn the palm towards you, this is no longer Vishnu Mudra. We use this mudra for pranayama. The thumb for the right nostril, the right ring finger for the left nostril. And then for the breath retention, so from the inhale, you're trying to fill up your lungs as much as possible for those 3 counts. Lift the chest on the breath retention. Keep the chest high, bring your chin down on the chest, keep your back straight. And then you contract the root muscle, pull them up towards the navel. The chin comes down onto the chest, the tongue to the roof of the mouth behind the teeth. It seals off the lock. The attention's at the space between your eyebrows. On the exhale, you exhale for a count to 6 and you allow the breath to leave. Evenly and steadily, try to be completely empty by the 6th count. So we're going from the active nostril, then holding breath, both sides of the nose closed, out through the less active, back up through the inhale. Hold the breath. Both sides of the nose closed, exhale through the active nostril. To find the active nostril, you plug off one side at a time and you try to find which side feels more open as your active nostril. It usually switches every 2 hours. If you don't see any difference or can't tell the difference, you just default to your left as your active nostril. So what else did active nostril. So yes, let's begin. The thumb for the right nostril, right ring finger for the left nostril. Find the active nostril first. Block off the right side with your thumb. Inhale in and out through the left side a few times. And then try again with the left nostril blocked with the right ring finger. My active side seems to be the right side, so I'll demonstrate with that side. So sitting up tall and straight. Exhale completely the lung out, all the air from the lungs. Close off the less active side. Inhale through the active. 3, hold the breath for 12. 2, 3, 4. Engage the throat and root lock. 6, 7, 8. Attention at the space in the eyebrows. 10, 11, 12. Exhale out through the less active side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale to the less active side. 3, hold the breath, chin on the chest, contract the root muscles and the throat muscles. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Exhale out through the active side, evenly and steadily. 3, 4, release the tension in the throat and the root. Inhale through the active side. 3, hold for 12. Always the tension at the center of the forebrow. 10, 11, 12. Exhale through the less active side. 4, 5, 6. Inhale through the less active side. 3, hold the breath. Don't lift your shoulders, lift the chest. Keep the face calm. 11, 12. Exhale out through the active. 4, 5, 6. Inhale through the active for 3. Hold for 12. Exhale out through the less active side. 4, 5, 6. Inhale through the less active. 3, hold for 12. Exhale out through the active. 4, 5, 6. A few more rounds on your own. 3, 12, 6 always. The rhythm. Next time you exhale out to the active side, conclude. Once you're done, just sit quietly, both hands in Yana Mudra on the knees. Remain tall and supreme. Just take a moment to just fix your mind on the infinite grace within. There's a portion of God that resides in all beings, in the hearts of all beings. Merge with that divine grace within. However you see God, that divine force, tap into that magnificent beauty that's within, that light, that wisdom, and just allow it radiate in you, and try to see that light radiating in all beings. It is there, always present. Now we'll celebrate that through the imitation of the forms in this practice, This helps to cultivate compassion and unconditional love towards all beings. Just try to imagine how all the divine qualities manifest and reflect that divine supreme grace in so many unique and wonderful ways. So with that intention firmly ingrained in our hearts and minds, let's begin the practice. So let's come to standing. All right, we're going to start off with breathing for inner healing to promote healing in all of senses, mental, physical, and emotional. Bring the arms out in front of the body, the wrist height to the shoulders, the feet about 10 inches apart. From the heart, inhale up to the crown. Bring all the healing energy up. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Holding at the crown, make it accessible to all beings everywhere. 4, 5, 6. Exhale out the arms. Imagine all the impurities are draining out with the breath, like water running out of a tap. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale again from the heart up to the crown. Breathe all the healing energy up there. Use your attention to attract it there. 5, 6, 7, 8. Holding at the crown. Again, make it available to all beings everywhere. Exhale out through the arms. Send out even more of the impurities out with the breath. 3, 4. Out through the arms and out through the fingers. 7, 8. One last time. From the heart, inhale up to the crown. Bring all the healing energy up there. Watch it rise up. And then hold it there. Imagine all beings tapping into that healing energy now. Exhale out through the arms. Send out any remaining impurities. Imagining you do so. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then bring the arms down. We'll continue some exercises to prepare the body for the practice. Start to turn from one side to the other. Feel as though the arms are heavy ropes just hitting the body. So move the joints every day, keeping the body in a state of radiant health. Think of it as your vehicle to carry out your mission. You have to keep it in good condition. Good. Now, shake the shoulders faster. Feel as though the arms are dead. Really shake it up. Head flying in all the directions. And then start to slow it down. And then bring your hands onto your hips. Circle the head. Make large circles as possible. If you have any neck issues, you can do semicircles if you like. Bring one ear to the shoulder, chin across the chest, and then go make your way to the other shoulder and then reverse it. And then change the direction. If you're doing half circles, you can start one shoulder and roll the head back to the other until you reach the ear reaches the other shoulder. Try to see the floor in all directions around you if you're doing a full rotation. And then release. Now the right arm spins forward 4 times. And then go back. If you have any shoulder issues, you can bring your left hand to your shoulder. And then that helps to support a bit. And back. And then the other arm. Imagine you're holding a weight of 5 pounds in your hand. The heaviness of that weight allows the arm to swing more easily. And then forward again. And then back. And then release. Take hold of your opposite elbows over the head. Working the waist now. Bend from left to right. Come back to the center and go back and forth. Arms to back, then wrap back. Come back to the center and then make little circles over the head. Moving mostly the head and shoulders and neck. But And maybe making the circles a little bit bigger progressively. Bring the chest and the upper back into the movement. And if you feel apt to do so, circle the whole trunk. Make like an airplane propeller sitting on the nose of the airplane. And then coming right back up. And then go in the opposite direction. Starting again, little circles over the head. And then start to make the circles a little bit bigger. The chest and the upper back come into the movement. And then finally, if you feel okay to do so, circle the whole trunk. The elbows coming across the feet. Coming all the way up. And release the arms. Next one's called lion's breath. You're going to allow the tongue to hang out of the mouth and the eyes go wide. Make like you're pouncing like a lion. And you're bending the knees. You don't have to go down all the way. Just go down to the height that you can that's comfortable for the knees. And let's begin. And then back up. Shake out the wrists now. Move the fingers very, very rapidly. Like you have no control of the hands. They're moving all by themselves. Good. Any which way you like. Up and down, circles, whatever you like. Good. And now from here, the hips, arms up to the side. If you need, you can hang on to a wall or a chair. Swing the right leg back and forth. Lean forward so your knee comes to the shoulder. Perhaps. Kick the leg all the way back like you're trying to kick yourself in the head from behind. So, and then the other leg. And then bring your leg down. Now from here, we're going to rise up, humility pose, stand with your head down, and inhale, circle the arms up, lift the heels, lift the arms over the head, exhale back down gracefully. Inhale, feel the arms floating up all by themselves, lift up, as your arms come over the head, lift the heels as well, exhale down. Inhale, feel the body becoming light. Rise up, engage the core, the leg muscles. Exhale back down. Inhale, rise up tall. Exhale down. One more time. Inhale, lift up. Off the heels, push into the roots of your toes really hard. Stay up. Reach up high, even higher. Exhale, slowly down. Slowly lower the heels. And then bring the chin back down. Keep in that mindset of benevolence and humility. Offer up all the fruits of the practice. Let go of all expectations and all attachments to the results. Let's continue. Come to the top of the mat. We'll do a few rounds of Surya Namaskar. Stand with your hands at the heart center. Imagine that the sun is streaming down on you, giving you this warmth and light. Imagine as the wisdom and the love of God permeating you and send it out to all beings as well through your practice. Raise your arms up over the head, reach up and back. Come forward and down into Uttanasana. Bend your knees if you need to bring your hands flat on the ground. Right foot back, lower down the knees, sink down to the seat. Into the plank. Knees down, the seat all the way back behind the heels. Glide forward into the cobra 3 times. Roll the shoulders back, the head back. And then the seat all the way back. Glide between the arms. tug at the floor with your arms as though you're trying to pull the floor towards you. All the way back. One more time, propel yourself forward. Between your arms. Lift the chest, arch the back. Roll over your toes, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Lift the seat up and back, melt the heart. Then the right foot steps forward to the hands. If that's difficult, you can lower the back knee down. You can use the right hand to assist the foot forward. Sink down to the seat, push the seat in. Then bring the feet together, Uttanasana, chest on the thighs, head down. Come right up to standing, reach up and back, hips forward, lean back, hands back to the heart. Go up and back again. Engage the buttocks in the upper back to help support you in the movement. Forward fold. Bend your knees again if you need to. Bring your hands down. Left foot back, sink down to the seat. Into the plank. Down we go with the knees and the seat all the way back. Glide forward, brush the nose to the ground. Come forward. All the way back. Be the witness, watching the body moving with grace and ease. Imagine your body moving just the way you want to see it move. And then perhaps this will translate into your physical movements. Come forward again, aging cobra. Roll over your toes, Adho Mukha Svanasana, lift the seat up and back. Left foot forward, drop down the knee, right, and the seat as well. Feet together, Uttanasana, chest on the thighs, head down. Come right up to standing, reach up and back. Bring it back home, hands to the heart, always coming back to the source of divine love. Located there in the spiritual heart. Arch back. Come forward and down into Uttanasana. Right foot back, lower down the knee, sink down to the seat. Into the plank. This time, knees, chest, forehead down. Just glide through once into the cobra. Right back into Adho Mukha Svanasana here. Lift the seat up and back, melt the heart. Bring the right foot forward to the hands, sink down to the seat. Feet come together, Uttanasana, bow to the legs. Come right up. After Uttanasana, back to Pranamasana. And again, create space through the whole front of the body. Approach your true nature, which is boundless in its potential. Left foot back, sink down to the seat. Into the plank. Knees down, the seat all the way back. Glide forward gracefully to the cobra. Adho Mukha Svanasana, lift the seat up and back, melt the heart. Left foot steps forward, drop down to the seat. Feet come together, bow to the legs, head down. Rise up. Hands back to the heart. A little bit more of a dynamic movement now. Raise the arms up. Pull the body down. Right foot back. This time do not drop the back knee down to the ground. Keep the back leg strong. Push back through the right heel. Into the plank. 3 times. Bring the seat back. Push the heels, your base of the toes, the heels, the palms. Bring the elbows towards the body. Try to propel yourself forward into upward facing dog. Try not to lift. Drop your knees and hips to the ground. If it's too much, just do the regular one that we did before. And then again, pull through right into upward facing dog without dropping your hips and knees to the ground. Modify again according to condition. Bring the seat back and glide forward. You push the heels, your palms, the finger pads, and the base of the toes. Upward facing dog. And then push right back, hips up and back into downward facing dog. Right foot forward, back knee stays lifted. Keep the back leg strong and engaged. And then send the left foot forward to the right, Uttanasana. Come right up to standing, reach up and back. Return home, hands to the heart. Go up and back again. Reach behind you. Fold forward into Uttanasana. Left foot back. Keep the back knee lifted. Or modify if you need to. Into plank, the seat's back. Once again, glide right through between your arms. Come up to upward facing dog. All the way back 2 more times. If it's too much to do 3, just do 1 or 2. According to your condition, your abilities, and energy. And then come again. Pull the elbows towards the body. Come right through to upward facing dog. Then downward facing dog. Melt the heart between your arms. Let the head come down. Left foot forward. Drop down to the seat. But keep the back knee lifted. And then the feet come together. Uttanasana. Pull the body to your legs. Come right up to standing. Reach up and back. Hands back to the heart. Raise your arms up. A little bit of a different variation this time. Pull the hands down to the ground, lift the hand chest, press into your hands, hold the breath. Hop or walk back. If you're jumping back, bend your elbows as you go down so you don't land with a big heavy thud. You can come right on the ground or hover in chaturanga. And then into upward facing dog or cobra. Here, just stay here, try to move your hips a little bit further forward between your hands. And then here, pulse. Try to get your chest forward and up, your head back. Make like a dog howling at the moon. Remember, you try to copy the forms in all ways possible. Physically, mentally, even emotionally. Now roll over your toes. Back into downward facing dog. Now make like a dog stretching its back. Bounce through the chest. Try to get your chest closer to the ground. Try not to bend your elbows, at your arms at the elbows. If you're flexible, you can maybe bring the top head right to the ground. Tap the head to the ground or rest it there. And now just imagine you're the dog, loyal to its master. Embody that loyalty. Push the belly towards the thighs, the heart towards the ground. Now from here, get ready to come forward. Lift the heels, lift your head, look between your hands. Hold your breath, hop or walk forward if you'd rather. And then pull the body down onto your legs. Come right up to standing, reach up and back. Hands back to the heart. Raise your arms up. Pull the body down into Uttanasana. Lift the head and chest. Again, either walk back or if you like, hold your breath, bend your elbows, and back you go. Chaturanga into upward facing dog. This time, let's try to oscillate between upward and downward. So round your back, tuck your chin in as you make your transition, and then melt the heart into downward facing dog. Come forward again, push off the roots of your toes, tuck the tail, make so you try to push your heart right between your shoulder blades and then through, right through the center of the chest. Back the other way again, round your back. And then sink the heart, soften the line in the back. One more time, roll forward over your toes if you can. Into upward facing dog, push your shoulders back, don't lose your neck, keep your neck long. Back the other way, tuck your chin in, and back into downward facing dog. Good, again, make like a dog loyal to its master, stretching its back, being playful. Then lift the heels, bend the knees, hold your breath. Bring your feet hopping or walking to your hands. Pull the body down onto your legs. Come right up to standing, reach up and back. Hips forward. Hands back to the heart. Take a deep breath in here from the solar plexus, the source of inner power. Inhale right up to the crown. Send all your power up there to empower others. Exhale back down to the solar plexus. Keep on sending your power and all your qualities up there to share with all beings, all your efforts. So now we'll just try some postures. Standing on your left foot first. Take your right heel from the inside if you can. If you need to, stand against the wall and bring your leg out to the side. Try to keep your fingers and toes on the same line. It might look more like a T. If you're more flexible, bring it closer to your shoulder. Lean to your left if you can a little bit to keep your fingers and toes roughly at the same height. If this is too much, you can't straighten your leg, you can hold it maybe underneath the knee. Use your creativity to just find ways that work for you. If you're having trouble bouncing, stand against the wall. Good. Now from here, let go of the foot. Be careful as you bring it down, try not to allow it to drop down heavily. Engage the leg. We can come into another pose right from here. Eagle. Bend your left leg a little bit and see if you can bring your head about the height of the knee. Keep your arms open to the side like the great wings of that magnificent bird. The toes higher than the head. If you start to lose your balance, you can always take your index fingers down to the ground and rest your belly on your thigh. Imagine that great eagle soaring through the air, skimming the surface of an ocean. Put yourself in that body. And then see if you can come right back up. Press into your toes And if you can do it without dropping your foot down, then go ahead and do so. You have to try new things. Always be open to all the possibilities. And then release. If you don't try anything, you never advance. 20 years, as Dharmaji says, you'll still be in the same place as you are now. Now the other side. Take hold of the heel. Bring your attention to a point, maybe on the ground, to help your balance. Okay? If you lose it, don't worry about it. Just remain like the witness watching it all. Merge as the Supreme Witness who sees everything with divine love and non-judgment. And now release the foot carefully. Engage the leg so again the leg doesn't fall down heavily. Stay in control. Right into eagle from here. Spread your wings. Bring your toes, point your toes on the left foot. Bring your chest forward a little bit, the head about the height of the knee. Arch your back. Extend. Like someone's pulling on your foot. And now you have to grip the floor with your toes, the edges of your feet, the toe pads. Come back up. Try not to drop the foot in between. Do again what's accessible to you. Maybe you break it up, you put the foot down in between, it's okay. Just do your best. It's the effort that's most important, not the results. And then release, bring the foot down. Okay, we'll try one more. Dancer. Different levels here. Standing on your left foot, bring the right knee up, take hold of the heel, ankle, and then pull the foot right behind. And bring your left arm up. If this is where you need to stop, you stop here. Otherwise, you bring your left arm forward and you start to extend the foot up and back. Try to have the thigh level to the ground. You can stay here. If you know other variations, you can lean forward a little bit. Push the foot into your hand. If you want to have more flexibility, you can take your knee closer, your grip closer to the knee, and see if you can straighten your leg a little bit more. And then lean forward. Break the pose, come back up, and release. Just take a moment, just picture yourself in the pose the way you want to see it played out. Try to realize it with your body. If it doesn't happen the way you see it in your mind, remain unconcerned, unbothered, unjudging. Now you can start here, the left foot is up, and then you can extend your arm down, and then push the foot up. Really push with your ankle into the hand. You can stay here, or if you want, you take your knee closer to your hand closer to your knee. And then you soften the right leg a little bit. Try to get your left leg straighter. And then coming back up, release. Now stand in the middle of the mat, facing the long edge of the mat. So when you go to the right, if you lose sight of the screen, you can just jump 180 degrees. Okay, so take your index fingers at the height of the shoulders and the other fingers as well. Jump your feet apart. Go to your left. I can't remember if I said left or right, but anyways, go to your left. I think I messed that up. And then open up to your left. Try to get your knee over the toes. If your hips are low, when you swing your right arm down, it might touch the ground. If your hips don't allow you, again, just do what you can. Now embody the courage, the determination, the leadership of the warrior. Now from here, take your hands behind the back, pull the hands down, Lift through the chest, bring the head back. Humble warrior. So you roll, push the right hip back a little bit, roll the thigh outwards, and you try to get your shoulder to come to the inside of the knee. You have to go to your right a little bit. Maybe you can bring your head right down to the ground. If it's too much, you bring your right knee down. You can do it from here. You don't even have to raise your arms up. If you need to steadiness through your hands, go ahead. Just put the hand down on the ground, the right hand. Express the humbleness of a warrior, always serving the people they protect. And from here, release the hands, bring the hands down on the ground, and then lower the knee down. From here, just fall to the right. Slide your right toes back. The right hip comes down low. Maybe the right forearm comes down. Roll to your lefts. See if you can get your left forearm down. So think of Sphinx pose. If you can't make it down in your forearms, your hips very high from the ground, just stay on your hands. And just try to imagine it rocks in your hip pockets. If you think of Cobra or Sphinx, you might be able to get your hips to come down more. And then maybe you can come down, the pelvis will follow, followed by the belly, maybe even the chest. If you're very close to the ground, bring your left arm to the outside the foot. If you like, come down lower. If you want. If you're flat on the ground, you can extend your arms out to the sides, or other variations. Keep on melting your hips down, feel very heavy. Now again, we're going to come back up. From here, climb back up, your left hand on your left knee, slide the right hand back, curve the spine, bring your seat nice and low towards your front heel. If it's too much, you can just keep your hands maybe on the back of your thigh, closer to the knee. If you have more flexibility, bring your hand to your foot. And then from here, you can either stay here or you can try to bring the right foot up. And if you can get into the crook of the arm, your knees a little bit in the front so that it's easier to get your foot up close to your shoulder, the front of the shoulder. Your fingers come close to the ear. You can bring your left arm up and see when you bend your hand down, your fingers might catch one another. Find one of them more easily. And then if you can, eventually push your foot away from the shoulder. Swan. Now, if this is too much, you can stay here or turn forward if you like. Kapiyasana. Work your shoulders a little bit. Pull the shoulders back. Another option, a beautiful gesture of offering. Break the pose. Bring your hands to the front knee. Push yourself upright. Left knee comes in, left foot comes in, bend the toes under the back foot. Right arm up. I should do it this way so you can see. Your legs are like a box. Right arm up, angle the toe and knee towards the right. Anchor the leg in place with your left arm so you can send your right arm down. Try to have the armpit sitting on the leg, on the outside of the knee. Left hand pushes in the right, or even a fist is good and helpful to get your body up higher. So as you push the left hand down, the right belly comes higher than the thigh, and then you start to turn. Pull the left shoulder back, pull the left hip back, the head forward. On the inhale, exhale. Go a little bit deeper. If you want to take a bind, you can know the bind, go ahead. Create more space. Push the seats back a little bit so you have more distance between your foot and your seat. And you can use your left hand to guide your hand underneath the leg. And then you take your left arm over the back, you pull the hand out a little bit more, and then maybe you can lock your fingers together or hold the left wrist to the right hand. Last thing you can do maybe is take the back knee up off the ground. Hold your breath, push out through the right heel, and then send your left shoulder back. All options, go according to your abilities. Try to get your left shoulder in line with the right on top of the other one, or even further.
until the shoulders are at the same height from the ground. Now break the pose here. Good. And from here back into turn, so facing the long edge of the mat again. So do this way, so not facing away. And then from here, arms out to the side and come up. Now go to your right. Again, make your adjustment to be able to see the screen. Warrior 2. Steady and strong. Take your hands behind the back, pull hands down, lift the chest, bring the head back, exhale, dive down. So I find it helps to really engage the back leg, roll the thigh out a little bit, push the hip up and back, and move your body to your left as you're coming down so the shoulder doesn't get caught on the knee. Ideally try to slide the inside knee so you can get your head down lower, maybe right on the ground. Lower the left knee down again if you need to. Place your hands on the ground as well, always an option. Break the pose, hands on the ground, and then slide your left toes back, roll to your left, try to get your left hip, left forearm down, roll to the right. Again, stay on your hands if your hip is very far away from the ground, this way. So you don't want to have this happening with your knee falling out to the side. Move the foot out if it does, and then try to have your knee close to your shoulder right over the heel. Nor do you want this to happen. So you want to try to have your the straight line, vertical line of the shin, the knee down to the foot. Keep pulling your body forward. If you anchor down to the hips, the rest of the body will gradually come down. Think about the Sphinx. Think about Cobra, the hips grounded, and then just roll back down as you would. You can take arms out to the side if you like. Be like a lizard just sunning itself on a warm earth. And then slide your hands back, come up, and then bring your right arm to the right hand to the knee. Left hand can come either, depending on flexibility, on the back of your thigh or slide it down towards the foot. Curve the body away from the front leg, lean away from the front leg. You can stay here if you can. Bring the left foot up. Knee, lean towards your left, a little bit towards the foot. Fingers close to ear, so when the right arm comes up and over the head, you can bind your fingers. So I like sometimes to take it in front of my chest and then stretch your arms, stretch your hands, and then bring your arms to the other side. That might work too. All these little tricks that you can try to suit your abilities in your body. Push the foot away from the shoulder if you can. If you'd rather do Kapyasana, you can do that as well. Hips forward, lean away from the leg. Stretch, make like a crescent moon. Good. Break the pose. Bring your hands to the front knee. Push into your knee and come upright. Right foot comes in, bend the toes under and the back foot. Left arm up. Now if the twist before was a little bit too much, you can just stay upright. Left hand comes the outside of the knee, the right hand on the seat. Otherwise, go all the way to your right. Rest your arm on the leg, the armpit on the outside of the knee. Right hand pushes into your left. And then send your chest, your belly, your chest up to meet the thumbs. Roll the right shoulder all the way back. Turn your face and chest up. If you want to take a bind, throw your right arm over the back. But you can first push hips back and use your right hand to guide the hand through. So my hand's underneath the belly. You pull the hand out a little bit more. And you lock your fingers together, or you hold the right wrist with your left hand. and take your knee up off the ground if you can. Right shoulder back. Push back through that left heel, extend through the crown. Now return. Come into plank position. Okay, now from here, Vasisthasana. First one, left hand just moves more in front of the nose. Straight line from the arm, hand to hand, hips high. Push hips forward a little bit, so you're being blown from the like a kite from behind. You can also bring the right foot in front of the left, cross the ankles, makes it a little bit easier, or lower down on your left knee if that's too much. Roll to the other side. Come back to plank. Right hand from the nose and spin towards your left. Again, you can cross your ankles or have them straight. Push your hips up. Now come back to plank. Lower down the knees. Come into child's pose for a moment. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let go of all fatigue, all struggles of any kind. Now, next, we're going to do Vasisthasana again. This time maybe variations. You can do the same thing as we just did before. Or if you like, come to down facing dog. Go into wild thing or other advanced variations you know. Left hand comes more towards the right. Spin towards the right. Slide the right toes back. Slide your left foot in a little bit as well. The foot is at 45 degrees, left foot. The base of the big toe down. Push your hip right up as though you're trying to get right over the knee. And then from here, if you're strong on your hand, your left foot is flat on the ground. You might be able to take your foot up off, your weight up off the right foot. Then you take the knee or the foot. Keep pushing. If your inside the foot is up, it'll be harder to keep your balance. Keep your hip up. If you want, you can also come in wild thing and spin on your hands right into Urdhva Dhanurasana. So go ahead. Return. Spin on the left hand, keep your hip high, depending which one you're doing. Back into downward plank first, and then downward facing dog. I like to start in downward facing dog because it keeps the hips up high. Go to the other side on the right hand and right foot. Any variation. Stop here, slide your left toes back, and really push your hips up. Move your right foot in a little bit. Make sure your foot's not turned too much, 45 degrees. And then keep the left arm, right arm fully extended so you don't fall into your shoulder. Might be able to eventually take your knee or your foot. Push through that right foot hard in the base of the big toe and the heel of and the hand of the right hand. Break the pose. Same way as you entered, softly, gracefully, back into downward facing dog. Now from here, come forward onto your knees, Supta Virasana. Soften the knees a little bit. If you can, you sit between your heels, and then depending on your knee condition, you can either just stay higher. If you have problems with your knees, not sit on your heels. Okay, keep your thighs together. And just walk back as much as you can. Allow the head to drop back. If you're more flexible, put your back on the ground. Supta Virasana, you're staying between your heels and your thighs, if possible, are together. If you need to come down, can't go down all the way, just stay on your forearms. If you're on your back, take hold of your opposite elbows. Breathe in, inflate the lungs, make your chest look like a balloon. Exhale, slowly deflate. Feel the belly button sinking right through the body into the ground below. And then from here, come back up. Push into your feet, tuck your chin in, and then make your way back up. Place your hands where your elbows were and come up. So now, Shilshasana, king of the postures. You can go ahead if you know how to get into the pose. If you want some other options, I'll give you some here. So if you're very uncomfortable leaving the ground, coming up very high, you can just keep your forehead in front of your knees and then hands beside your feet and try to lift your seat up as much as possible. If you can, roll onto the top, maybe towards the back of the head. If it's too much for your neck, just move your head forward until you're in the top of the head. You can just stay here like that. If you want to try teddy bear, you bring your head down, your hands are in line with the knees. Make sure they're not beside your head. Can't bounce as easily. You bring your hands so that your upper arm is right angled to your lower arm. Bring your seat up as high as you can over your shoulders and just push just underneath your knees against your elbows. And so you can dance up off one toe at a time. That's the start of it. And then you can pull your toes up away from the ground. And if you keep on pressing your knees against your arms, you can get your feet up. As you get more comfortable, you can move your knees in closer to your shoulders. Now, if it's too much pressure on your head, those who are in headstand, leave the body alone. Bring your attention to the space between your eyebrows. You can do a lotus as well if you want. If you want to try something else, there's too much pressure with just the hands, take hold of your opposite elbows right underneath the shoulders. Don't move the elbows and move your hands forward. And then you can place your head between your palms. Even if it's too much to have your head on the ground, you can lift your head a little bit. And then see if you can walk your feet towards your elbows and lift both heels up, like so. And then back down. As your heels come up, you'll feel engagement of the core muscles, and then back down. And then eventually you can take one leg all the way back, as far back as you can. So it depends on the flexibility of the hips. If you can, try to let your foot to hang close to your seat behind you, right behind you, bend the toes back. And then perhaps you can push the heel up and back down. As you lift your heel, hold your breath, press your heels, your palms into the head, and so you can flick your toes away from the ground. Again, don't jump hard, you'll land on your back. So just try to get your foot as close as possible and then just do things with control. Flex your feet and just try to move slower. Try not to jump hard and fast. Try with the one leg behind you, really, you have to split your legs quite a bit. Especially if you have tight hips, just do your best to get your foot behind you. Or just stay with both feet on the ground and then lifting both heels at the same time. Now again, we're going to come down, rest in child's pose. Breathe in, breathe out, all fatigue. Roll your way up. Now we're going to take our legs in front and then scooch to the front of the mat for shoulder stand. This is an easier way to get into it. If you know other variations of getting to shoulder stand, you can go ahead. You can come in from the front if you like. If you know how to get in from downward facing dog, you can do that as well. Or come up from bridge and just bring your legs up from there. I'll demonstrate the easier way. Tuck your chin in. Roll back, push into your arms and send your feet behind your head. And then take a moment to just move your hands. Try to join them together behind your back. This so that your elbows can't be seen from in front. Your arms are right behind your back. And then you can take your hands to your back. If it's a little bit easier, come up one leg at a time. So take your right leg up, really push the toes up towards the sky, and then bring the other one up to meet it. If you have lotus, go ahead and do your lotus. And you can, if you have the ability, you can take your hands to your thighs, whether the legs are straight or in lotus. Put your hips forward. Try to get your knees, especially if you're in lotus, in the same line as your hips. Keep pushing up. Your hips come forward. Now, if your elbows are kind of more on beside your body, you can't come up all the way. It's okay. Just again, find a place where you're steady and comfortable. Bring your attention to the space between the eyebrows and settle your mind, and that's into that silent space. If it's still too much, just sit on the ground. Sit on your hands, I should say, the backs of your hands with your legs up. You can do this against the wall as well. Keep your mind, your attention on the space between the eyebrows located behind the forehead. Get ready for embryo pose. If you have a lotus, keep your legs close to your body as you bring them down. You can take the bind or come into plow pose. Alternatively, bring your knees down onto the shoulders, your thighs right against your belly. Can move your hands a little bit closer. Try to get, if you're deep in the pose, your seat is over your shoulders, you might be able to eventually get your knees to the ground. Now, those of you who know how to get into camel from here, go ahead. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you want to check it out, just come up first. Don't stay in your plow pose. Just sit up for a moment. So from plow, so you can see, so from plow pose, you walk your feet over to the right side of the head. Left side, I guess, going first. And see if you can lower your knee right down beside your shoulder. You can bring your right hand beside your head. Tuck your chin in, push in the left side of the head, and roll your way up. And then you can bring your hands to your seat, lift your chest, bring your head back, and come into camel if you like. Don't stay there. This is just transition. Come back. So you come back, and you bring your left shoulder down, like you're doing hair pose, right in front of your left knee. And you press onto the left side of the head, push the base of the toes, and then come back into plow pose. You're back in the same place as you started. And go to the other side now. So walk your feet over to the right, drop the right knee down. You can bring your left hand beside your head, push off the shoulder, and then come up. Again, into camel, push into your seat, pull down. Keep your hands on the seat or bring your hands to your feet if you like. And then back the other way. So come down, your right shoulder comes in front of the right knee. You bring the right side of the head on the ground, push into the shoulder, push in the base of the toes, and come back, plow pose. Right, so if you want to try that, you can go ahead, if you're familiar with that. Otherwise, you can stay in plow the whole time, or whatever pose you've got here, embryo maybe, or the thighs against the body, the knees on either side of the head. Try to be very gradual and graceful in your movements, no jerky motions. Might take a few times to get it right. Just keep trying and be mindful if you have neck issues or shoulder issues. Move with conscious, with mindfulness. Now back from plow pose. Going to roll right back down. Flatten your hands on the ground, palms on the ground, and land your seat on your wrists. Keep bringing legs down until they're about halfway down. And then once they're there, stop. Lift the back up off the ground so you look like a check mark here. Bring your elbows closer, push your chest up, top of the head comes to the ground. If you know flying fish, you can go ahead, you can take your arms out from underneath, bring your palms together, arms same line as the legs. If this is too much, just bring your legs down. Fish pose. Now breathe very fast and nose like a sniffing dog. Continue to breathe normally now. Bring your feet close to your seat, try not to move your head. And then take your hands out from underneath, place your fingertips beside your head, palms facing towards you, and then lift your seat, push into your fingertips, slide your head back, and then turn your hands around, fingers facing towards the heels and a little bit to the outside. You can stay here on your head or take a half breath in, lift your head up off the ground, Urdhva Dhanurasana. If this is too much, do bridge pose. Bridge pose. Your feet come in the same way, and just feet in line with your hips, your shoulders, and the back of the head stay on the ground. You just do it this way. Okay, if you're in Urdhva Dhanurasana or in bridge, you can bring your hands, if you're in bridge, up to your seat to support you. Elbows, try to get them a little bit further under, your thumbs underneath. Seat sitting and heels to your palms. Raise the left knee up and then bring the left foot up. You can do this if you're in Urdhva Dhanurasana as well. And then bring the leg down. Try it on the other side now. If you want to get fancy, those who are in Urdhva Dhanurasana, you can try to come up off. If your right leg is up, you come up all, but just the index finger of the left hand. Again, something that Dharma Ji's been doing in his classes lately. Eventually you can hold your breath, maybe take your finger right up off the ground. Again, only if you know what I'm talking about, what I'm doing, you can try it and you're familiar. Otherwise, just stay where you are. And come back down. Release on your back. Breathe in. Breathe out. Remove all fatigue, all struggles. Relax completely. Imagine you became unconscious. Now, from here, raise. You can bring your left foot in a little bit and raise your right leg up. Hold the ankle, bring your knee onto your shoulder. And then from here, try to straighten out the leg a little bit more. Pull on the ankle. If you feel you can straighten your left leg straight flat on the ground, then do so. If you're very flexible, you might be able to bring your foot all the way down beside your head. Your knee is in your armpit. Now from here, bring the leg back up. Happy baby pose. Bring the knee down towards the ground. Take hold of the outer edge of the foot. Try to get your thigh down onto the ground. And if you can, take the right arm in front of the leg. Push into the back of the knee. Now from here, stay there for a bit. Pushing out through that left foot, and try to bring your knee right up close to your ear. You have to push into the back of the knee. This helps you to eventually get your leg behind your head. You have the knee in the right position, so when you lift your head, you tuck your chin in, and then bring your leg behind your head, your foot behind your head. So you can bring your left knee in as well, just wiggle a little bit. Keep pushing into the back of the knee. Lift your shoulders up off the mat, and then pull your foot towards the left so you can get behind your head. Don't go to a place of pain or anxiety. Remember, respect your limitations. and then release. Come back down, try it on the other side now. So start with, if you like, your right knee, right foot sliding in a little bit, so your foot's flat on the ground. Raise the left leg up, take hold of the ankle. Then bring the left knee onto the shoulder and pull on the left foot until it comes closer to the head. Extend the right leg if you can, or if you like. Take your attention to all the areas in the body where you want to find more release. Be very flexible. You try to get your foot down beside your shoulder, beside your head. Keep extending through that right leg, right foot. Then half happy baby pose. Bring the heel in directly over the knee, the back of the knee. If you can, you bring your left shoulder in front of the leg and just push into the back of the knee. Try to get your left hip to come up a little bit so your left knee comes closer to the shoulder. And this again puts the foot in a better position to go behind your head. Now if you want, bring the right knee right into your shoulder. Push the left foot back. Peel the shoulders up off the mat. And pull the foot towards the right so you can get your leg behind your head. Then release. Bring the leg down. Breathe in, breathe out. Now from here, arms over the head, sit up. Okay, so bring the left leg back, lean to the right, and then I got to do the right leg first actually. So lean to your left, fold the right leg back. And then open up your stance a little bit. Your knees are far away from each other. And then turn towards the left. Bring your body down onto your left leg. Your chest sliding down towards the knee and maybe beyond the knee. If it's too much for your knee, you can bring your foot and keep your front like this. Okay, so do again according to your condition, or just close up your knees a little bit more if you need to. Now those who are more flexible, move your left arm to the inside of the leg and stretch out the arm, stretch out the torso. There's no big wrinkles in your waist. Your left shoulder pushes against the inside of the leg, and you can reach the right arm over the head. You can take the foot with your left hand as well on the inside, and roll your right shoulder back, your face and chest turned upwards. Now coming back, from here, compass pose, bring your left foot up, so you can touch the foot to your head, your forehead, and from here, if this is too uncomfortable, you can bring your right leg up, I mentioned it. So let's just actually bring the right leg out like this, and from here, move your left shoulder in front of the knee, push it up, use your right hand to push the foot up. If you need a strap, you can use a strap as well. So take your strap around the foot and then pull your arm out and try to get your legs straight. Left hand moves a little bit away, fingers facing away. Lift your chest. Look up towards the right. Now you can stay here, or if you know Visvamikrasana, you might be able to go into it from here. So lean forward, push into your hands. Bring the right hand down, roll the right thigh in, and from here you push your hip up, and then take hold of the foot if you can, and extend your leg out. You don't even have to hold the foot, or you can just even have your foot sitting on your arm, so close to the shoulder. You can also bring your knee down and do it from here. It's a little bit easier. Try it from your knee first. And see if you can get your leg up. And then return. Try it on the other side now. Right leg goes out, left leg goes behind. The big toe is just behind the center of the seat. And then move your body down onto your right leg. Stretch your body out. And then if you like, move the right shoulder inside the leg and push the back of the shoulder into the inside of the leg, close to the knee. Left arm goes over the head. If you're successful, take hold of the foot and then keep pushing the back of the shoulder into the leg. Try to turn your chest up. Eventually looks like you're lying on your back. Now come back up. Compass pose. Lean to the right, bring the left leg out. And then bring the right shoulder in front of the knee. And bring your foot towards your forehead if you can. Try not to hunch down too much, keep staying tall. And push your knee into the back of the shoulder. Bring the knee up as high as you can, just like we did on our backs. And then take your hand underneath the heel and push the foot up or over across the front of the foot to hold the outside of the foot. Use the strap again if you need to. Roll the right shoulder back. You'd have the strap in your hand and just give yourself as much slack as you need to so that you can straighten out the right leg. Keep your chest high. Make sure you're not hunching your back, rounding your back. Now from here, if you want Visvamitrasana, so fold your leg over the arm. So if you can roll forward a little bit, push your left hand down, and then from here you have to keep pressing your arm into the knee, the back of the knee. Come into your Vasisthasana with your foot bound or not, no big deal. Or come onto your knee. Bring your left knee down, keep your shoulder in front of the knee, press up, and then adjust your knee as much as your shin so that you can come into this modification. And then release, come back down. Good. Now from here, Urdhva Dhanurasana. Actually, let's do Cobra first. Come down onto your belly. You can do any modification you need. Perhaps you can start in your forearms and hold the top edge of the mat. Raise your chest. Keep pulling on the mat so you're trying to stretch the mat. Anchor down through the lower body, the toes. And then eventually lift your elbows up, bring your head back. Make sure you don't crunch your neck. Don't lose your neck or the lower back. Keep on pushing your chest forward away from your seat. Eventually come up a little bit higher. Try to keep your feet together like the tail of a snake. And then you can keep moving your hands in, shoulders down. Going back down. Relax. Breathe in. Breathe out. Tiger pose. Come up. Baby tiger first. Forearms on the ground. Elbows underneath the shoulders. Raise the right leg up. Keep the legs straight. Really engage the leg muscles. Get your leg up nice and high. Good. If you want, you can bend your knee and take hold of the foot with your left hand and try to again bring your foot up higher. Push your foot up and away. You can do this from your hand too. So you stand on your hands and you can come up like this. Arch your back, push your chest forward. If you're very flexible, you can try to do the overhand one. So you take your foot from the outside, your thumb pressing the base of the toes, your other fingers around the outside of the toes. Bring your shoulder up so that's higher than your elbow up so it's higher than the shoulder, and then turn your elbow forward so you're not hurting the shoulder. And keep your leg up, or you can bring your foot to your head if you like. Okay, so other options depending on your flexibility and your level of practice. And then release. If you have the overhead one, bring foot down first so you don't strain your shoulder. Try it on the other side. Left leg up. Make sure your leg's not bent and lazy. Keep your legs strong. If you like, again, going through the options, bend your knee, take hold of the foot, and then push it up and away with your right hand, or come onto your hands, come up a little bit higher. Whoops, wrong hand. So the right hand comes to the foot and bring the foot up. If you're doing the overhead one, you can use a strap again if you need to, so don't be careful. Take your foot, bring your elbow up higher than the shoulder, and then you can move your elbow around more easily, your arm around more easily without straining your shoulder, and then try to push your foot up higher. Again, please practice according to your abilities. Break the pose. Bring the foot in and down. Now, twist. Ardha Matsyendrasana. You can either keep your left leg extended, your right hand right from the outside of the leg. If you can, however, fold the leg in, the left leg under. The foot is beside your hip, not sitting on the heel. And your knees, your foot's on the outside of the knee. Left arm up, and then go to the right. Push your forearm against the thigh. You can take hold of the heel if you like. Push the lower back up and in. Revolve around the right arm. If your leg's extended, your foot is further forward, be in front of the knee, toes closer to the ankle. Make sure you're not leaning back. Keep your hand right against the center of the back, so you can stretch up taller before you twist. You have to imagine you can see right through your skin and watching the spine revolve around itself, spiraling upwards. And maybe the body will turn with just that visualization more. Come back to the front, other side. So either with the leg extended, foot on the outside of the shin, or fold the right leg under, and the foot is beside the left hip. Right arm up. Push the lower back up and in. You can take whatever binds or variations you know. Keep your shoulders down, your head high, your back straight. And break the pose. Come back. Lie on your back. Ease your way down softly. No big heavy thumps on the ground. Once you're on the ground, relax completely. Take a deep breath in. Attract all the tension that you find in your body, all the tightness, any places that feel restricted. Bring it all to the center. Exhale, just allow it to just funnel right out of the body. Relax, soften. And then inhale. Again, do a mental scan. Search for any negative thoughts or experiences that are causing you grief or
anxiety or pain. Exhale, let it all go, drop it right out of the body. Inhale, do another scan of your heart, of your mind. If you find any negativity there, any kind of emotions of a negative form, fear or doubt, anxiety, anger, sadness. Bring it all to the center, and then exhale, just drop it right out of the body, out of your being. Feel as though you just got rid of much heaviness, mental, physical, and emotional heaviness. Feel much lighter now, like you're an empty shell waiting to be filled. On the inhale, imagine just like waves coming onto the beach, the best of the best flooding you from everywhere. Everything that you could possibly need. And fill your whole being with it. Immerse yourself in that goodness. Inhale again, imagine big waves of the best coming in. All the benefits, all that you need to feel fulfilled and grounded in connection with all beings. Feel good in every way possible. Exhale, just flood yourself with it. Fill your whole being with that goodness. One more time, inhale. Imagine all the qualities that you desire to cultivate further. Wisdom, compassion, courage, enthusiasm, all these qualities to help you on your path towards self-realization. Bring it all in. Exhale, flood your whole being with it. And on the next inhale, all the goodness you brought in, bring it all, direct it all to the spiritual heart in the next inhale. As an offering to God and to all beings. Exhale, send it out to all beings. And this is made possible since God is equally present in all beings. Inhale again. Bring in all of that goodness into spiritual heart. Exhale, send it out everywhere. Last time. Inhale, the best of the best. Everything that everybody needs, which is essentially what you need as well, what you desire as well. Bring it to the heart for the most part. Exhale it all out to all beings. Everything you have, share with others. Especially all the knowledge that helps us to break those patterns that cause pain and suffering. What knowledge that you have? Spiritual knowledge, the highest form of karma service, selfless service, is to share that with others so they can help themselves too, to relieve themselves of their pain and suffering. Now, just keep that intention of trying to see the light in all beings, the divine essence in all beings, by saying that to yourself 3 times, reinforcing in your mind and heart. I see the divine in all beings. Say it to yourself mentally 3 times. Now prepare to carry that into the world. Try to realize that in all your interactions. Prepare to sit.
Close with Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Instill the peace within, send it to all beings everywhere. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Be receptive to the grace of God. All is within. Namaste. Thank you so very much for coming. Much love to you. Have a wonderful day.